What to do when your piano student wants to quit? Well, I think all of us have faced this, and not only once. And every time it feels so personal. It is so painful to let your students go. Not because they moved to another city or because they had to go and study finally at the university, but because they decided that they want to quit. But I really want to reassure you, it is not personal. In most cases, it is really not your fault. It doesn't mean at all that you're not a good piano teacher. It doesn't mean at all that you're not capable enough. It just means that they have made a decision. But today we are going to unravel some of the reasons why your student wants to quit and also how to reverse it. Now, I can't do magic, but it has happened quite a few times that I received a phone call from a parent telling me, well, Anna decided she wants to stop. And I did reverse it. Because most of the times they don't really want to quit piano, but there's another reason behind it. So stay with me because I'm going to talk about every possible scenario and how to manage the situation and even help the family that you're working on understand why the student wants to quit and often even reverse it and make them stay. Not by forcing, but by choice. So, as I said, first of all, don't take it personally. There are plenty of reasons why students want to stop. Number one, at the same time of your lessons, their football lessons start taking place now. Number two, they decide they want to learn guitar. Number three, they think they don't have enough time to practice at home. Number four, they just don't like the pieces that they are playing currently. Number five, they're just growing up and they might feel it's time for a new hobby. It's time to do something different. Well, none of these things are about you. They're just about the student and their current state. And many of these things can be completely unrelated to their piano lessons. So if the parent comes to you or the student comes to you and they say, I want to quit, please don't try to defend yourself and don't take it personally. Just have a gentle conversation with them. So, what do you need to do next? You need to find the reason. You can find the reason by asking your student or the parent. Sometimes what the student will tell you and what the parent will tell you might not be exactly the same thing. And sometimes the student is really young and they cannot really answer this question, or they're too shy to answer this question. This, of course, in a way reflects the relationship you have built with them also, because I guess that a student that has been with you for 5 years can be way more honest than a student that has been with you only 6 months because they don't know you as well. So let's first talk about the scenario of you asking your student why they want to quit. Not with pressure, always with a smile, and always from a place of understanding. Your student might tell you, well, I don't know, it's just too hard. I don't have time to practice, it's just too much. All of these things are reversible. All of these things you can help them and you can change them. If your student tells you, it's just that I want to start tennis lessons and they're exactly at the same time with my piano lesson, this is also changeable. You can change the lesson time if you want to. I know you have your schedule and sometimes it's really difficult to change the student's time, but you make this choice for yourself. If you want to keep the student, you might want to switch their time slot. Now, talking with a student is not really about figuring out why they want to quit, but it's more about letting them know that you're aware of it and that you're there to talk about it and help them with, if they have a struggle with the piano lessons, to just change it. That it is not something written in stone and it's not that you have to do it exactly like this, but it is something that they can have a saying on and it is something that you can change based on what they want. Now, again, be careful. I'm not telling you that you just do whatever your student wants to do. No, 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 no. And you know very well what your limits are, and you know very well what things you are willing to change and which things you never change because you find them super important. And I am the same. So it's always based on your own personal choices and your own professional way of teaching. So I'm not saying just do whatever the student wants. I'm just saying that if you think you have the flexibility to change some things, now it's the time. Now, let's talk about the scenario of you talking with a parent, which should always be the case. The time to talk with a parent is definitely not right before their lesson or right after the lesson. If the parent happens to tell you, um, well, I think Anna will stop with her piano lessons. And then you immediately get this rush and you're like, what? Wait, why? What happened? And the best time to have this conversation is, first of all, after you calm down a little bit, after you reflect on it, and when you are ready to have a nice phone call or to meet in person or to do a video call and talk about it in a relaxed environment. So when you do talk with a parent, I want you to ask a couple of questions. I want you to ask, first of all, what do they think is the reason that their child wants to quit? Which in this case, as we talked about it already, in most cases, it's something that you can help change. So if they say they just don't have the motivation anymore, or they don't like the music that they're playing, or they feel that the lessons are too strict, these are all things you can change if you want to. I want you to also ask for how long they've known that, or for how long their child has expressed this thought or the fact that they're struggling with the lessons, and why they decided to tell you now. Very often, the parents know already for months, and we have no idea. Sometimes we can tell by the way the student behaves in the lesson, acts in the lesson, but sometimes we have no idea. And we just receive a message one day saying, yeah, Anna wants to quit. And we're like, oh my God, I'm just losing a student suddenly without expecting it. While having this conversation with a parent, and you asking this question and you getting this answer, and then the answer will almost always be for at least a month now, or 2 months now, or a few weeks now, I want you to tell them, why didn't they come to you sooner? Don't be strict, but just ask from a place of compassion, of support. Why didn't you come to me sooner? If I knew already, I would be able to change things and make it better for Anna. I would be able to change the way we do the lessons so she feels more motivation and she really enjoys it more. But I had no idea. Now, by asking these two questions, first, why they want to stop, and second, for how long they've known, you're making sure that the parent understands you're with them, you're in their team. You're not there to convince them otherwise, and you're not there to fight, definitely not. But you're there to understand and try to change things, because it is really a pity that they did all of this investment. They bought a piano, most probably. They have been coming to weekly lessons. The student has been practicing all this time. They have spent a considerable amount of money for this. And for what? To just quit. It is really a pity for everybody, and especially for the child. So try to make their investment worth it. Try to change things. Tell them that we can try from now on to change things, and ask them to give you 1 month to see how things can change for the better. And then make a new plan for that student, and you will see that by the end of these 1 month, 90% of the cases, your student will fall in love with piano again, and they will continue. Now, there are some other cases that you cannot reverse. For example, if they love another activity and this activity is really on the time and day of your lesson and you're not able to change the time slot, then it is what it is. Maybe you need to take a break. To take a break, but not to stop forever. So suggest that to the parent. Maybe we can just take a break. And maybe from September on, for example, after the summer that I will have a new schedule, I can contact you again and see if we can pick it up from where we left it. There is also the other scenario that the student really wants to quit. They have thought about it a lot already and they're completely unwilling to try. In those cases, you just say, okay, it was very nice to work with Anna. It was very nice to have lessons with her. It was lovely to meet you and the whole family. And I wish her all the best from now on. This is it. That is all. No hard feelings, no taking it personally. It doesn't make you a less of a good teacher. It doesn't make you a less of a good professional. It is just what it is. And then you say goodbye, and then that is all. Always with a smile and always in a kind way. Now, before you go, I want to say one more thing. If your student wants to quit, it means, as I said before, that in most cases they've known already for quite some time. So I want you to try to be a little bit more proactive. Because honestly, the best way to handle a student who wants to quit is to catch the signs before it gets to that point. Maybe at some point you see in one lesson they don't come with a smile anymore, or they haven't practiced that much. Maybe you introduce a new thing that you think it would be exciting for them and they don't really take it with excitement. All of this is pieces of information that you should take seriously. And all of these are things that could start a conversation. Ask your student immediately, is everything okay? Are you not enjoying this lesson so much, maybe? Is this song a little bit boring? What kind of activities would you like to do in the lessons more often? Ask them, and they will answer you. It's extremely rare that the student will tell you, I don't know, I don't know, I'm fine. They're not fine. If this keeps happening in the lessons, talk with the parent as soon as possible. Call the parent and ask what is happening lately, what is going on. If the child has expressed a kind of negative feeling about their piano lessons, and you will get the information you need, and you will be able to reverse the situation early on before it arrives to the point that your student really wants to quit. Now we'll finish with this. Always try to make your lessons joyful, even just a part of it. Always be kind, be with a smile, and your students will always love the lessons way more than you would expect. Being a capable piano teacher in terms of technical teaching and pianistic teaching is amazing, but it's often not enough, especially when we're dealing with beginners. So always try to add this extra energy of kindness and of support, and it goes really a long way. Now, I hope you found this video useful. If you would like to find ways to make your lessons more joyful and fun, watch this video next. I will see you in the next one.